Thanks for staying with us on DT India. You're watching our special rolling broadcast, Delhi Assembly elections, the capital contest, where as far as the early trends or leads are concerned, it seems that the BJP seems to be set to return to power after 3 decades. But these are just the trends, the early trends that are indicative of BJP's consolidated position in more than 40 seats, and Aam Aadmi Party trailing behind. But there seems to be a sort of catching up as far as these trends are concerned. And Congress, not a very good news for them, seems to be decimated as of now. So we're going to keep getting you these early trends and more updates from all the three camps, Congress, BJP and Aam Aadmi Party. All that and much more on this special broadcast. But first up, headlines. Counting of votes for Delhi Assembly polls underway. BJP all set to retake Delhi citadel after 27 years. Aam Aadmi Party relegated to second spot as far as early trends are concerned. US President Donald Trump to meet his Ukrainian counterpart Zelenskyy next week, while Ukraine claims North Korean troops back on frontline. And Israel-Hamas set for next Gaza truce exchange. Hamas to release 3 more hostages in return of 183 Palestinians. US President Donald Trump freezes aid to South Africa, citing law to seize land. Also plans to announce reciprocal tariffs on many countries next week. So the big news coming in is that counting of votes is underway for the Delhi Assembly elections across various counting centres in national capital. We're looking at 70 seats where massive gains for the BJP seem to be consistent, even if they are in terms of early trends. Initial trends are indicating that the BJP is, well, it looks like they are set to retake Delhi citadel after a gap of 27 years. If that is what happens, that's going to be historical in many ways. While the ruling dispensation of Aam Aadmi Party has been relegated to second spot. 42 seats, while Aam Aadmi Party is leading in 28 seats. Atishi Marlena is trailing behind. Key Aam Aadmi Party figures, their key leaders seem to be trailing, but Arvind Kejriwal as of now is maintaining a comfortable lead in his New Delhi constituency. Or I think that's also fluctuating. That is also trailing. Okay, my guests tell me that Arvind Kejriwal is also trailing. As Bharatiya Janata Party is on the path to win if these trends convert into results. Celebrations have already kick-started in BJP headquarters in national capital. Akshay Dongre, my reporter in Delhi, my colleague joining us live from New Delhi to give us a bit of a perspective. Akshay is where the action is, I believe, Akshay. So celebrations are underway. They seem to have already declared it as a win of sorts, not even waiting for these early consolidated trends to translate into results. Akshay, over to you.
Well, Sakal, I was at the BJP, but, I also wanted to see what the other side looks like. So right now, let me tell our viewers that I am at the Aam Aadmi Party headquarters, the recently moved headquarters here in New Delhi. So this is the Aam Aadmi Party headquarters, and this is how it looks like after this massive setback to the party that had started its political career from New Delhi, from protests in Delhi, and now after 10 years, we are seeing that the same party has been leveled with a lot of allegations of corruption. And at the same place where in New Delhi, where the party had started, it seems that the party has received its biggest ever setback as far as Delhi elections are concerned. So celebrations are taking place here as well.
Okay,
so every time the votes are fluctuating, Sakal, if the votes, let's say, go up in the favor of the Aam Aadmi Party even slightly, then here people also celebrate, trying to keep their morals up. But as counting, is underway and more and more votes are getting counted, the gaps are widening. The celebration has gone down significantly since morning because early in the morning there were a lot of celebrations happening even before the counting of votes started. But now it seems that reality has started to kick in for a lot of leaders, for a lot of workers and volunteers of the Aam Aadmi Party as well. And even right now, they are hoping against hope that there will be a miracle and there will be suddenly a shift as far as the number of seats are concerned, the number of count as far as these predictions are concerned, and the kind of trailing that is taking place as far
But
as the
Akshay,
key leadership of the Aam Aadmi
you've
Party.
covered the campaigning very extensively. Especially, you look at these, the minority-dominated areas or the government employee-dominated areas, the Purvanchal region. All these cephalological divisions. Even if these are trends, BJP is up and going, strong, and Aam Aadmi Party is trailing. There's clearly shift in mood. What do you think the reasons could be attributed to?
Well, there are a lot of reasons, Sakal. So, simply saying that the Congress party has and the Aam Aadmi Party, fought a different fought elections against each other as well, and votes got divided between two. That is just one of the reasons, but there are other reasons as well. One of them is the minority communities that have been used as the vote bank historically, as far as Indian politics is concerned. They have gotten disenchanted as far as this appeasement politics is concerned. So people do realize that the gap as far as infrastructure development is concerned between certain areas of Delhi and other areas where they live is widening. In fact, it has widened a lot in the last 10 years. As far as freebies are concerned, they are not going to give you a quality life in the long term. People have come to realize that as well. So there are a lot of issues that have been there as far as the minority communities are concerned, because the Congress Party or the Aam Aadmi Party, they have both been trying to boost these votes, but it seems that these pockets where people have been living under abysmal conditions, under a lack of sanitation,
Correct.
lack of clean water, lack of clean air, lack of proper basic hygiene as well as development, they have started to realize that it is going to be a politics of development that is going to uplift them from the situation where they are. And the kind of appeasement politics or freebies that have been offered by the political parties is
Akshay,
not going
yes,
to
that
lead them
comes to
anywhere.
the question. Do you think the whole taking a dig at each other, Congress versus Aam Aadmi Party, whatever transpired between the two, they were not like a unified opposition. They could have. That is something which has given a good advantage to the BJP?
Well, absolutely. In fact, if you look at simply look at the votes, Sakal, in most of the seats where the Aam Aadmi Party is trailing, you see the number of votes that Congress Party has received is more than sufficient. If it goes to the Aam Aadmi Party to give them a lead, so this is true even for the star candidates as well as the normal candidates of the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress Party. Both of the parties were claiming that they will be coming to power, and they don't want any seat sharing formula. They don't want any kind of agreement with each other. So also the population of Delhi got disenchanted with this politics of alliance, because in Lok Sabha elections, you say that even the top leaders, including Rahul Gandhi of the Congress Party, said that I will be voting for the Congress Party, and the Aam Aadmi Party leaders will be
Okay.
voting. Rahul Gandhi said that I will be voting for the Aam Aadmi Party, and our leader will be voting for the Congress Party. And suddenly, after about 6 months or so, you are against
Yes,
each
yes,
other and
yes, yes,
contesting
Akshay.
elections again. So that was in fact a movement where people decided, people realized that this is not going to lead into any kind of positive politics as far as
Okay.
Delhi is concerned. Back to you, Sakal.
Yes. So we have Akshay reporting live from Aam Aadmi Party's headquarters in New Delhi, and now shifting focus to the BJP headquarters. Dibendu of DD India joins us. Aam Aadmi Party, very clearly, Dibendu is facing 2 terms of anti-incumbency factor, and the corruption charges or the corruption tainted big leaders, well, in trends, except for Manish Sisodia, I think, who is leading right now. The rest are trailing behind. On the contrary, celebrations are upswing in the BJP headquarters. They don't even want to wait for the trends to convert it into results. Could there be a turnaround of numbers, trends?
Well, Sakal, at the moment, it is highly unlikely that the trends that have already set in would go the other way round, and the BJP has already accepted that they have won. And if I just
Rather
step
declared.
away and show you that the number of people that have already gathered at the BJP headquarters celebration underway at the BJP headquarters just a while back. We have also shown visuals of how, the band bajas have come in to the BJP headquarters. The people, as the day progresses and the results solidify, we see large number of people and supporters of the BJP coming in to the BJP headquarters. And we see the leaders have also started coming in at the BJP headquarters to celebrate, to talk to the voters, to talk to the supporters of the BJP. So, of course, the mood at the BJP headquarters is jubilant. It is the BJP that is coming back to power in Delhi after a long hiatus of 27 years. It is, of course, the leaders here say that it is, of course, a perfect time to celebrate. It is the hard work of the BJP workers over the last 10 years in Delhi that has resulted in this magnificent victory, is what the BJP says that they have been able to achieve after a long, long time, and overthrowing the popular Aam Aadmi Party that have been in Delhi for the last 10 years. So, of course, the mood here, Sakal, at the BJP headquarters of Delhi is jubilant celebrations.
If one has
underway.
to go by the trends, the popularity of the Aam Aadmi Party seems to be dwindling. Well, even as per the trends are concerned. But do you also think the Broken India alliance and the division of votes has clearly worked in favor of the BJP, considering, Dibendu, the kind of trends that are coming as far as your Purvanchal is concerned, your government employee cluster is concerned, the JJ cluster is concerned, the Pahadi cluster is concerned, all of that. These are, the game-changing areas where BJP not only has made inroads, but has consolidated its position.
That's absolutely right, Sakal. Otherwise, without the consolidation in these particular areas, what the results we are currently seeing would not have been possible for the BJP. The BJP have dented into the Aam Aadmi Party's vote bank is clearly what is visible through the results. The core vote bank of the Aam Aadmi Party, which constituted much of the electorate from the JJ clusters, have clearly seemed to be shifting to the BJP. The BJP, it also seems that have been increasing its vote share and voter tally. So, of course, without denting into the Aam Aadmi Party's core vote bank, this result would not have been possible. So, of course, much of the voters from these Purvanchali voters as well have shifted. But, Sakal, interestingly, we have seen in the last two elections in Delhi as well that the people of Delhi voted in a different way in a Lok Sabha election and in a different way in the assembly election. But this time around, Delhi had given 7 out of 7 seats to the BJP in Lok Sabha, and the current trend, in fact, if you look at the vote share from the Lok Sabha election is perhaps seen to be increasing for the BJP. And this is, of course, as I've been saying, that the people, in fact, the workers of the BJP say that this is, of course, possible because of the hard work and the dedication of the BJP workers going into the JJ clusters, convincing the voters of the development work that the BJP have been doing and exposing the Aam Aadmi Party on their corruption, on their double standards, perhaps, and this is what we have as a result in the elections of Delhi.
Right. So, Dibendu, just stay with us as we play out the numbers full frame on your screens, DD India viewers, and I also get in my special panel on this broadcast, Chakshu Roy, PRS Legislative from PRS Legislative, and also welcoming Aditi Tandon, ma'am, senior journalist and political analyst. So, Aditi ma'am, first you, what do you make of this? Simple.
See, it appears that the BJP is winning a comprehensive vote across segments, like you said. Not only women vote, but also all swing votes are going towards them, appearing to be going towards them, because the leads are now almost stabilizing. And there is a gap of 11 or 12 seats even now. Arvind Kejriwal, who had taken a small lead about an hour ago, he is again trailing by about 225 votes. So that should speak for itself. The only Aam Aadmi Party leaders that are leading right now are Gopal Rai and Manish Sisodia. All the other bigwigs,
the leads are consolidating.
Even Chief Minister Atishi is trailing by around 1200 votes to Ramesh Bidhuri of the BJP. So, this is an indicator in itself that there has been a huge anti-incumbency sentiment against the Aam Aadmi Party. As we all know, Aam Aadmi Party reached the national party status in a record time of less than a decade. So I was saying earlier also on your show, meteoric rise, and apparently I won't say meteoric fall because they are not doing that badly. They are already at around 28, 29 seats. So by about 1 hour, we'll know exactly where the leads stand. But a major message that the voters are giving is that they want delivery. And politics of theatrics, politics of confrontation and rhetoric and of victimhood has an expiry date.
Okay, well, I think that's the point. Chakshu, your take.
Sakal, Aditi and I were looking at some numbers, and I think it might be useful also to put what leads are in a numerical context. So we cast our vote in EVM machines. Each EVM machine, I think, takes about a booth takes about 1,200 votes, and then machines from an area get together, and that's then those things are counted together. Now, if we look at the ECI website, what the results are currently showing is that in some seats, there is a comprehensive lead that has already been achieved.
Okay.
So, for example, if I look
by the BJP?
By the BJP.
Okay.
So, for example, in the Mustafabad seat, the BJP candidate is Mr. Mohan Singh Bisht, and he's currently got 40,000, he's got a lead of 40,000 votes, and the total votes outcome cost are about 56,000. So, there is no way that his opposing candidate can make up. Kapil Mishra has got 50% of the votes in his constituency. So, if and I would put a safe margin. So, let's say in all the seats where the margin of lead is more than 9,000 votes, then BJP has 9 seats currently, and the Aam Aadmi Party has 5 seats. I think where it gets interesting is where the margin is like 500, 1,000, 2,000 votes. And the number of rounds that have been completed are very less. So, for example, I think in the New Delhi seat, as Aditi was mentioning, the number of rounds that have completed are 6. I think that's roughly about the halfway mark, and the lead is about 225 odd votes for Mr. Verma, who's the BJP candidate there. Now, that will keep swinging up and down. But I think anywhere where the margin of lead is above 8,000, 9,000, I think that will be very difficult to make up towards the end rounds in a particular constituency.
This New Delhi seat that you're talking about, Kejriwal won the seat by the margin of Aditi ma'am more than 21,000 votes. Here the lead seems to be narrowing as far as Chakshu's numbers are concerned, and also Kalkaji, Atishi won by more than 11,000 votes earlier. And here, does this really surprise you? I mean, the big names and faces in the Aam Aadmi camp. Is this the corruption taint or this whole rhetoric of Sheesh Mahal, poisonous Delhi, all of that? Now elections can be campaigned on such terms, but then when it comes to electorate voting, it's a different ballgame.
See, I think it is a complete reversal of fortunes for Aam Aadmi Party, which had come into the Indian electoral scene like a whiff of fresh air.
Correct.
These were non-dynastic leaders. They were the original non-dynastic party of the country. They came with a lot of hope. I have a lot of people that I know in the corporate sector that supported them with money, with psychologically, emotionally, financially.
Riding high on that anti-corruption crusade.
And Arvind Kejriwal came across as somebody who can change this very conventional politics of the country. Now, this particular vote against Kejriwal is a disappointment for such segments of society, because a true experiment in faith has failed actually. If they lose big today, and if Arvind Kejriwal loses, that itself is a huge statement. What was their poll slogan all along? Their poll slogan all along was Kaam ki Rajniti. So if they lose today, and if Kejriwal loses and Atishi loses, because these are the two big lieutenants of Delhi Aam Aadmi Party, then that's a rejection of Kaam ki Rajniti. That means people do not believe you any longer, and it's actually a dent. You are not just losing the vote, you are losing the trust and faith of the voters, which will be hard to regain. And what is the problem? The problem is the ripple effect of the defeat of Arvind Kejriwal in the opposition ranks across the country, because he was the only opposition leader apart from Congress who had 2 states, who had a government in 2 states, Punjab and Delhi. Rest all of them have been in government only in one state. For instance, Mamata Banerjee, MK Stalin, they are one state parties. Kejriwal was a two-state party already and expanding. In Gujarat, he had won 5 seats, and he had won recently only about 11% vote share. In Goa, they had won 2 seats and they had won 7% vote share. What happens now? So, you know, it also halts the march of Arvind Kejriwal across the country, and it is a major break in the tracks of opposition party that had gained a lot of traction after the Lok Sabha vote.
The Broken India Alliance and the division of votes, Chakshu, just taking a cue from what Aditi pointed out, could be the reason for their decline.
I think, Sakal, maybe, you know, we should expand the debate and look at it a little more holistically. I think political combinations, political alliances have a role to play, but is that an overwhelming role?
No.
Possibly, you know, that's a debatable issue, because I think what voters are looking at, not political alliances which are forged for the purpose of election, but they're looking at possibly the work done by a political party or by a party in power for an X number of time. The other interesting part, you know, what Aditi was mentioning is fresh faces versus tenured faces. And Delhi has a number of candidates who've been in Delhi politics for a very long time. They might have shifted from one party to the other, but they've been in the Delhi political scene.
Been there, done that.
They've been on the Delhi political scene. And one of the points that I would like to emphasize is that this is something that we saw in Maharashtra, where people had shifted political parties so many times that the voter finally said that, listen, I'm not going to vote for a political party, I'm going to vote for the individual. Right? Has some of that happened in Delhi? And in some of the seats we are seeing that the person is saying, oh, you know what, this gentleman was in one party, then a couple of years he was in another party, then he shifted back and forth, now he's in a third party. So I'm not going to take his party allegiance into account, I'm going to take his individual track record as a public representative, as a public official, and then vote according to that. Now, what is interesting is about Delhi politics is that it has some kind of a spillover effect in the region, which is, let's say, Haryana, Punjab, Himachal, where the incumbent government in Delhi had some kind of footprint or was trying to make some kind of a footprint. So what happens to that footprint now? You know, does it get further established? Does it get weakened? Does the party has to introspect and say, you know, what is our game plan going to be if we now have to sit in the opposition? And the numbers seem to indicate that in some cases the lead is as less as 100 votes. For example, in the New Delhi constituency is about 200 odd votes. There are other places where the lead is about 100 votes. So that can change, you know, any minute. And this is something that we've been seeing on our screens since the morning.
Yes. Role of women voters of Delhi, that's also one of the important factors that has played a decisive role. We're looking at over 72 lakh women voters in the national capital, and let's take a look at the numbers, how these the women electorate could have been the game changer, whether it's for the Aam Aadmi Party or the BJP. The numbers on your screen, Aditi, how do you explain that?
Yeah, like you said, that the voter turnout among women has been more this time as compared to men. 60.9% is the female turnout and 60.2% is the male turnout this election, as against the last election, which was actually the reverse, and the men had come out to vote more. But in any case, even in the previous 2 elections, more than 50% of the women voters went in favor of Aam Aadmi Party. This is a CSDS Lok Niti survey that I'm quoting. Likewise, all 12 scheduled caste seats of Delhi went to Aam Aadmi Party. Today, I think 8 of those seats are going to the BJP. So the swing that we are talking about, the real story according to me today, which requires deeper understanding and analysis, is the Muslim dominated segments. What is happening in Mustafabad? It's a Muslim majority district of Delhi, and Mohan Singh Bisht has taken a lead of, you are saying, almost 40,000 votes. What does this mean?
Actually, BJP is leading in the Muslim majority seats that you're talking about in early trends. Besides Mustafabad, you have Okhla and Balimaran also.
And
Balimaran being the ex-Congress's bastion.
See, there are 2 seats, Sakal, in Delhi which are full Muslim majority seats and districts. Mustafabad is a key seat in that segment. almost 69% is the Muslim population there. So what happened there? What has happened there is, there was Mohan Singh Bisht of the BJP versus 3 Muslim candidates, including a Tahir Hussain, who has been let out of the jail. He got a bail to campaign. You know that he is in jail in a anti-CA protest case, and he campaigns and he takes away a lot of Muslim votes. So does the Congress candidate. You know, so resultantly the entire Hindu vote is mobilized in favor of Mohan Singh Bisht, and the entire Muslim vote has been successfully divided. So also the Congress party, fighting alone, has not won even a single seat, but they have majorly devastated the Aam Aadmi Party vote bank. If you look at today's vote share, you know, I'll just quickly point out a very interesting figure that came out is just now. Congress has improved its vote share from 4% to 6%. AAP has lost its vote share from 53% to 42%.
So AAP's loss is Congress's
yeah,
gain.
exactly.
Though in terms of trends, they're only leading. I mean, that's how they were in 2020.
Yeah,
They've been consistent in their decline that way. Mustafabad, Mohan Singh Bisht that ma'am was talking about, he's a 5-time MLA and he's leading in Mustafabad constituency. And Harun Yusuf from Balli Maran, who is 5-time MLA and 3-time Minister of the Delhi government from the Congress, is also trailing. He's also trailing. Okay, that's Mohan Singh Bisht on your screen. So BJP's penetration in those.
I think you change that to win, right?
Okay. Yes. Sorry, Chakshu?
No, I was just saying that at a lead of 40,000 votes, I think it could, you know, possibly be called a win.
So it's a clear win, and yes, here you have Harun Yusuf, Congress's popular face or a Muslim face, and also Amanatullah Khan. He's found leading. Earlier he was trailing, now he's leading. So some consolation also for the, I mean, I shouldn't be using the word consolation, but for Aam Aadmi Party, some of their popular leaders have made it. They are comfortably leading. But let's now also talk about Congress. What happens to the Congress after 2013? They've been virtually drawing blank. 2020 blank and 2025 blank. It's 11:29 by the clock, and could there be some big turnaround for the Congress party? It could be anybody's guess. It's not even a triangular contest. I mean, that we were talking with Chakshu that the one corner has flattened out completely. Congress's candidate Sandeep Dixit, well, he's been trailing in that very crucial constituency of New Delhi, and Sandeep Dixit, son of former Chief Minister Sheila Dixit, who has actually ruled Delhi for more than a decade, you know, at that point in time. Sandeep Dixit could not really replicate those political fortunes. Well, he has said that Congress may have not lived up to the expectations of the people, but we have accepted the decision of the people. Well, they have to accept because they don't have a choice. Let's listen in.
अगर लोगों में शायद भरोसा नहीं बना हो कि हम लोग सरकार दे पाएंगे तो ठीक है, जो जनता का निर्णय है वो निर्णय है. हम लोग इतना कह सकते हैं कि हमने मुद्दे उठाए और जो मुद्दे हमने उठाए उस पर काफी हद तक चुनाव बना. बाकी जो जनता कहे उसको स्वीकार है.
Well, acceptance, gracefully accepting, Chakshu, Congress.
I think in any mature democracy, electoral verdicts and a smooth transition of power is key. And in our country, I think, and this is where India has been a little bit of an outlier. We've seen in the US where, you know, presidential candidates have questioned as to whether they lost the election or not. We've seen in Brazil question the verdict of the people. So I think it's a great sign for our democracy if contesting parties and contesting leaders look at the verdict and they say, oh, you know what, maybe we need to rethink, we need to, you know, get back to the drawing board, we need to figure out as to what we need to do with our political system.
Krishna Tirath is also trailing.
But they accept as to what the voters have, you know, cast their votes and, you know, made an appropriate decision for what they think should be their public representation look like, what their political public representation should look like. I think also, I don't know, Aditi, but there are some seats here which seems, and New Delhi seems to be one of them. I'm looking at these numbers. Out of the 13 rounds, 7 rounds are complete. Mr. Verma, who's the BJP candidate, is leading by 200 votes, 238 votes. so this is going to be possibly end up into a nail-biting, the most crucially watched seat will end up in a possibly a nail-biter of a finish.
Yes. So New Delhi could be anybody's guess as of now.
It could
right?
be guess, or it could be decided by a coin toss.
Anita, ma'am, a quick one, and then we take a look at the percentage. We have the percentage now. Your take on the New Delhi seat?
Yeah, New Delhi seat is turning out interesting, and what's even more interesting is that there is a former CM, Arvind Kejriwal, versus a former CM's son. Parvesh Sahib Singh Verma's son, and he's leading. And another ex-CM's son, Harish Khurana, is leading from Moti Nagar, which is also an interesting thing. And the sitting CM is trailing. So it's a tale of CMs.
Okay. Tale of CMs, and now let's take a look at the tale of vote percentage, because that's also kind of indicative what has gone well with the BJP and what has not worked for the Aam Aadmi Party. So the vote share for the BJP party as of now is 47.38%, and Aam Aadmi Party is not very far behind as of now, 44.14%. And what is actually a news point here, or maybe can we call it news? Congress is in negative, minus 5.72. Chakshu.
I think from here on onwards, at least for the Congress, I don't think the numbers should, change anything. And I think what will now really happen is that some of the leads are going to consolidate further. Some of those swing seats with 100, 200, will drag on for a little while. But anywhere where the lead is above 5,000, 6,000 votes, revising that number from 9,000, anywhere where the lead is 5,000, 6,000 votes, I think that should stabilize and will be difficult to catch up on. In a parliamentary election, it is definitely possible, but in a legislative assembly election where the constituency sizes are small, I think it's difficult to make a lead that far. Having said that, now I think what will happen is that the numbers that you see on your screen, they will roughly stay within that range and might not change much. I mean, 5 here.
So there's a clear saffron spread with a little bit of yellow tint for Aam Aadmi Party. They've taken north, BJP. Ma'am, if you could just break it up in terms of the constituencies in big gains, and you have east also with the BJP, bit of a south with the BJP, west, a bit of west with the Aam Aadmi Party, but just a patch that you can see. Okay, before I come to you, let's quickly go through these numbers, how the numbers are stacked. These are the trends. But the trends, BJP more than 40, 44 as of now, leading in 44 seats, which includes some of your key constituencies, including New Delhi and Kalkaji. Aam Aadmi Party leading on 26 seats. Congress, earlier they were leading on 1 seat, but now they have lost that also. So they have not even opened that account. That lead, I think, has gone either in the way of BJP or the Congress party. So overall, as of now, BJP seems confident, consolidated, comfortable, riding the pole position. This could have far-reaching implications not only for the Delhi governance but also for the national politics. We will talk about that as well. I think now is the time to touch upon that factor also. Comfortably crossing the majority mark, we're looking at 36. In fact, they are, the kind of reactions that are coming in from the BJP headquarters, they are looking at 50. And if that happens, if that confidence translates into reality, I think that's going to be historic.
Yeah, Sakal, in a matter of just few minutes, Aam Aadmi Party, which was at 29, is down to 25 leads.
Okay.
And BJP, which was at 42, is up to 45. So what you are saying
46,
may come true. Come true, because initially a lot of exit polls, to be fair to them this time, have predicted a 50-seat lead for BJP and 20 for the Aam Aadmi Party. But
now we have the vote margins also that will help us in analyzing the situation. Greater Kailash, South Delhi, BJP's candidate Shikha Rai leading with 2,000 plus vote margin against Saurabh Bharadwaj. Kapil Mishra of the BJP, well, he's been there and done that, finally settling with the BJP and then going home with the win. 20,000 plus, that's the margin we are looking at for Mishra. Vishesh Ravi of the Aam Aadmi Party has, he's leading in the Karol Bagh. Karol Bagh Delhi seat is going I think, with Aam Aadmi Party, with 6,000 plus vote margin. Satish Upadhyay of the BJP, 3,937 is the vote margin, leading in Malviya Nagar constituency. And also Delhi Okhla, yes, Amanatullah Khan, who initially was trailing behind, has caught up with his rival from the Congress party, Ariba Khan, 8,000 plus vote margin. Also from Shakur Basti, BJP's Karnail Singh is leading with a good margin of 8,000 plus vote, 8,749 against Satinder Jain, another tainted leader of the Aam Aadmi Party. And finally, Arvind Kejriwal, they're trailing behind 1,229. Can this be covered up?
I don't think 1,200 vote margin at this hour will be easily covered. Like Chakshu said earlier, small constituencies, already into I think 7th or 8th round in the New Delhi seat. So it is difficult. Sakal, a big message from today's results also is, what is the approach of the opposition or the
Manish Sisodia is trailing. I'm sorry, I'm cutting you.
Oh,
he's trailing again.
He's trailing again.
1,000. I think he's now in a spot.
He is now in a spot. So the entire top visible leadership of the Aam Aadmi Party. Visible, popular,
promising,
confrontationist, who were actually constantly in conflict with the LG.
Correct.
The entire last 2 years of Delhi politics have all been about Arvind Kejriwal, Atishi and Manish Sisodia versus the Delhi LG on a host of issues, starting with the Delhi excise scam. And then, of course, the Sheesh Mahal issue, then after that, the CAG reports and everything. For me, a big takeaway will also be, Sakal, how the non-BJP, not the anti, the non-BJP camp of the political class changes its politics from here on. Because is it helping you to question the voter data? Is it helping you to question the EVMs? What are you even doing? I mean, are you honestly introspecting? Because we yesterday had an important press conference by Rahul Gandhi where he's questioning, he's saying that the, voter rolls of Maharashtra are entirely compromised. So unless and until you face your opponent and you see the strength, where is BJP gaining? BJP is gaining because, not just because of the anti-incumbency of Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi, they put 6 to 7 top leaders of the country in charge of each segment in Delhi. Every segment was being manned right to the micro level by 7 leaders, including MPs and ministers. In the last 3 days, from February 1 to February 3, BJP President JP Nadda had asked all ND MPs, all ND MPs means even the LJP MPs and also the JDU MPs, to go door to door. There was a full material they were given. So that was the level of, massive outreach that they conducted. They were down in the field. Their organizational strength is undisputed. But the point is, they also made an effort. You have to make an effort to win the hearts of the people. You can't just sit and blame EVMs and the voter rolls all the time, because that's not going to fetch you votes. Because you're going to look like making excuses all the time.
I think it's beyond denial mode for Congress. I mean, now these results are...
Even Aam Aadmi Party, it spent its entire election result eve accusing BJP of poaching its MLAs. Well, BJP is winning 45 seats. Why would they poach MLAs?
Jaksh, you want to add to that?
So I think, these numbers seem to be now settling, and possibly a couple of numbers here and there. I think Durgesh Pathak's lead is about 200. So that is...
Gopal Rai is the only one.
With the comprehensive. So I think now comes the important question of what will our public representatives do in terms of fulfilling their promises? What is the kind of treasury bench role that the BJP will play, and what will be the role that the opposition benches will play from here on now for the next 5 years? Because in the last 10 years, there was, the opposition benches were not strong, and the treasury had the upper hand, and they were able to direct proceedings in a certain manner. So I think now is the time for introspection for everybody, and especially on the legislative side of things, that if you want Delhi to be on a footing with its counterparts, with the kind of weight that Delhi carries of the responsibility of its people, what will be the role of opposition and what will be the role of the legislative role of the opposition and the treasury benches in representing the hopes and aspirations of the people of Delhi.
Okay, there's one more aspect that we need to talk about, that is this the vote also belief in Prime Minister Modi and his guarantee. You know, that's the point we will also be talking about, and for that let me quickly go across to my colleague Dibendu, who continues to report from the BJP headquarters, wherein BJP's cadres have already swung into celebratory mode, and why not? And they don't even want to kind of wait for these early trends to replicate into or translate into results. That's the kind of confidence. You're smiling out there, Dibendu. So what are the reasons BJP's cadre is attributing this historic comeback? I would add historic comeback in terms of trends, because we will not jump the gun here. What do they attribute it to?
Well, Sakal, before I delve into that question, I'll ask my camera person to just pan and show you the kind of celebrations that are currently underway at the BJP headquarters. If you can see, the enthusiastic Karyakartas have started to arrive at the BJP headquarters. They are jubilant that BJP has been able to come to power almost after 27 long years. And the Karyakartas are celebrating. If you can get the audio, you can see how dhols and nagaras are already in place at the BJP headquarters. And, Karyakartas from across the national capital have started to arrive here. Celebrations underway. People have dressed in different costumes to come and celebrate. There are laddus, there are massive laddus that have already come into the Delhi BJP headquarters. We have seen somebody dressed as the movie character PK calling Arvind Kejriwal the biggest corrupt chor neta of Delhi. So this is the kind of celebration and the enthusiasm amongst the cadres. But now getting into your question, Sakal, perhaps as we have been talking about since morning, what didn't work for Arvind Kejriwal this time is allegations on corruption. It's also about how Delhi had been, deprived of clean water. The pollution issue that Delhi have been facing over the last 1 decade have also been a major issue amongst the minds of the electorate here in the national capital. We have been talking about how the excise policy did not go down well with many of the electorates in Delhi, and we have seen its top leadership, including the Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal and the Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia going to jail for it. We have seen their Health Minister Satyendra Jain going to jail for another corruption issue here in the national capital. Also, the women voters were particularly inspired by the development of Narendra Modi, could have shifted their loyalty from the Aam Aadmi Party to the BJP, and of course, the Aam Aadmi Party's multiple freebie policies that they announced and have been giving to the electorate of Delhi could not materialize into vote this time around for the Aam Aadmi Party.
And the beneficiaries shops has clearly not worked for Aam Aadmi Party that well as they could have expected. Dibendu, just stay with us because we also have Amit Mukherjee, my colleague, joining us from our DD India newsroom, is going to take us through all the latest numbers in terms of leads and margins and gains. Amit, over to you. So what is this vote? Delhi has voted for Prime Minister Modi, the belief in Prime Minister Modi's guarantees and the kind of work that the cadres have been relentlessly doing, going from constituency to constituency to make inroads in very crucial constituencies also. And that's the vote against the Kejriwal government and his popular faces, popular leaders also.
Absolutely, Sakar, if you look at the entire, the numbers which are kind of coming up right now, I mean, BJP is leading in about 45 constituencies out of the total number of 70 constituencies in Delhi. So it clearly shows a total lack of credibility as far as Aam Aadmi Party is concerned. Now, what has not really worked for them is like those promises which they have been making for the last 11 years, but they have somehow not been able to deliver on them. Of course, they have been offering free water, free electricity, but the free water they were, giving to people, in terms of sops, I mean, they were not consumable. So absolutely, there was a total lack of credibility this time. And of course, the other parties who were competing with Aam Aadmi Party, they also extended their freebies, their share of freebies to the people. So, I mean, somehow, people of Delhi thought probably that, I mean, alternative to Aam Aadmi Party was more credible in terms of, you know, availing the SOPs. And clearly, BJP has established itself at the national level and also at the various state levels as far as deliveries are concerned. Now, if you look at some of the figures, you know, where AAP has again, you know, dominated in terms of the Jhuggi Jhopdi, you know, the clusters, you know, they were traditional voters of Aam Aadmi Party. They have still been able to hold on to them, because out of a total number of, 20 seats, Aam Aadmi Party has bagged about 11. And BJP also, you know, made inroads in that. 9 Jhuggi Jhopdi colony or the slum dwelling seats from Delhi has gone to BJP. Also the minorities, if you look at minorities, how they have played out during this this election in Delhi, there are 13 minority dominated constituencies, out of which again AAP has been able to hold on to 9, which clearly shows that the Muslim votes again, whether it's in terms of...
Can you go through the minority numbers again, Amit, and we stick to that bit, please?
Yes, minority in Delhi, we have about 13 constituencies, which are assembly constituencies, which are dominated by minorities. Now, out of those 13, Aam Aadmi Party has bagged the 9, almost they're leading in 9, which leaves, BJP with about 4, which again I would think it's not a very, very bad figure. 4 minority dominated areas have voted for BJP. The fact that they are heading for a, even after 10 rounds, they have been able to maintain the leads on those rounds. And again, coming back to, if you look at the entire numbers right now, it has become more or less clear, and BJP now is all set to form the government, because there are less than 5 seats in Delhi right now, which has got margins of less than 500, which means that either a BJP or an Aam Aadmi Party is leading with a margin which is less than, say, 500 votes. So even if both the parties, for example, if all those 5 seats go to BJP or all those 5 seats go to Aam Aadmi Party, that is not going to change the figures which are emerging right now, which is, of course, 45 plus for BJP and, of course, less than 30 for Aam Aadmi Party. So clearly it's set that BJP this time is going to form the government, and it's been 27 years when we saw the last BJP government in Delhi. And of course, they have a lot of anticipation, because if you look at whether it's the freebies in terms of water, electricity, or the infrastructure of Delhi had absolutely crumbled over the last 4-5 years. The air quality was bad. The road infrastructure also was not, it wasn't really great. Is what I think played a big role in kind of deciding the mandate of Delhi. Sakal?
Yes, so BJP leading in roughly around 40 to 45 seats in the 70-member assembly, Amit. Aam Aadmi Party is struggling to go beyond the majority mark. That's the writing on the wall. One thing is very clear, Amit, and Congress continues to languish with almost no seats, according to the graph that we have. Amit, please stay with us. I'm going to have a quick word with Aditi on that minority-dominated 13 seats where BJP has made inroads. Yeah. Though, as of now, on 9 important seats, Aam Aadmi is leading. After that, Amit, will come to you, and if you could just give us a little bit more on the trends in Purvanchal. Meanwhile, Aditi, your take.
Yeah,
this is how it looks like, minority-dominated seats. Yes.
Right, so minority-dominated seats, as we were discussing, Sakal, the Congress has harmed the Aam Aadmi Party prospects in the rest of the seats that the BJP has bagged, because in the previous election, all these seats had gone to Aam Aadmi Party, right? The biggest story today is Mustafabad, which is the highest Muslim majority district of Delhi, and where that there is the highest winning margin, highest winning margin so far in Delhi elections.
Can according
to EC leads,
screens? Yeah.
40,000 winning margin is for the BJP candidate Mohan Singh Bisht, who was actually very upset that he was shifted from Karawal Nagar, where Kapil Sharma is also winning.
He's a 5-time MLA.
He's a 5-time MLA. So Mustafabad is the story.
That's the man.
So that's the story. And also the big story now is who will be the chief minister. I am interested in knowing.
Well, Amit has already declared that it's the BJP which is going to form the government. I am still practicing that last journalistic line.
No, but Amit was very sharp with his analysis. He was very mathematical. Yeah. That there is only 5 seats, so it's not going to change
how
the
much
result.
Can it? Yes. Yeah, please continue. Yes.
So the leads have stabilized. BJP will form the government in Delhi. My question and everybody's question should now be, the last BJP CM in Delhi was a woman, Sushma Swaraj. Congress had a CM who was a woman, Sheila Dikshit. In between we had Arvind Kejriwal of AAP, but then we again had Atishi. Will we have a woman chief minister?
And who could that be?
And who could that be? Well, there are all kinds of names, and with BJP you never know. They can always pull a rabbit out of the hat.
Okay, Amit, you want to come in here, since with your analysis, as echoed by Aditi also, that there are 5 seats with a very limited and slender margin. Amit, there cannot be a scope now for a big turnaround of fortunes for the BJP. Nothing can stop for the BJP to come back to power. And what a way to make a comeback. 27 long years wait, and then now you are staying solid on like those 45, 47 seats. Amit, who is going to be the next CM?
Well, again, right, Aditi said, BJP has the habit of pulling a hat out of a rabbit, you never really know. There are names floating around. It could be, I would not really like to name all those senior BJP women leaders who are quite capable of leading the team from Delhi. No. But again, if you look at the vote shares, what happened in Delhi. Now, BJP almost bagged, at some point in time, it was looking as if the 50% of vote share of the Delhi elections were going to BJP. The figure has not really come down from that mark. It's about 47.5. But again, the difference between Aam Aadmi Party and BJP at this point in time is about 3%, which again clearly shows that AAP somehow has, still holds on to a large number of its voters. But somewhere, some of those voters, they have shifted their loyalty as far as, BJP is concerned. Like, for example, if we look at the tally, out of the total votes, valid votes, which is like 42,000 votes in Delhi, Bharatiya Janata Party backed about 20 lakh votes, which is roughly 47.59%, followed by, of course, Aam Aadmi Party with a 43%. Of course, that figure has now moved up by 4%.
Okay.
But again, looking at Congress, see what kind of a performance Congress has given. Just 5.62%. Even if you look at, they have not been able to play much. A lot of people say that Congress has been a deciding factor. But, looking at those numbers, you can't really say that it was only because Congress ate into the vote share of Aam Aadmi Party, which translated into the win for BJP.
Okay.
So it's very, very clear that, BJP has made its own mark as far as this election is concerned, very cleanly. Of course, one has to understand that, this disparity between number of seats and small vote margins, difference in vote margin, because, out of those 11 districts which Delhi has comprising the 70 constituencies, not all constituencies have a uniform number of voters. For example, some have 60,000, some have more than 1 lakh. So, which is why we see these disparities, that despite a very close vote margin, the number of seats are much more than what we are seeing right now. For example, BJP, we're looking at 45 vis-a-vis Aam Aadmi Party, which is just about 28.
Okay.
Although the vote share is just about 4%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Amit, thank you so much. As of now, we'll of course come to you after a short break, but what an analysis in terms of numbers now there. Thank you, Amit, for joining us. And well, it was a make or break battle for Aam Aadmi Party, but it seems that it's not a good news for the ruling dispensation because they are trailing as of now, even in early trends, and the margin is widening. That's how the numbers are stacked as of now. BJP leading in 45 seats. And Aam Aadmi Party reduced to 25. Congress hasn't even opened its account. Completely, Aam Aadmi Party struggling to go past the majority mark. Congress continues to languish with almost no seats in their kitty, and it's historic and an unprecedented political comeback in Delhi's citadel for the Bharatiya Janata Party after a gap of more than 2 decades. 45 seats is what BJP is leading as of now. And I also take this opportunity to thank senior journalist Aditi Tandon in our Delhi studio for examining these numbers for us. Thank you so much. And with that, it's time to wrap up this special broadcast, Delhi Assembly elections. After a short break, we'll continue our special coverage. Shubhendu will be joining us. Don't go away.